This is Top Accolade African News Update. I am Soibifa Jackridge. Ghana's former president and leading opposition figure, John Dramani Mahama, has opposed LGBTQ practices, saying they contradict his Christian faith. "The faith I have will not allow me to accept a man marrying a man and a woman marrying a woman," Mr. Mahama was quoted as saying. "I don't believe that anybody can get up and say I feel like a man although I was born a woman, and so I will change and become a man," he added, speaking to a group of Ghanaian religious leaders on Wednesday. LGBTQ rights are a heated issue in Ghana. The parliament of the West African country is currently considering the controversial anti-LGBTQ bill, which will impose harsher penalties on members of the LGBTQ community if passed. The bill forbids Ghanaians from identifying as LGBTQ and increases the sentence for same-sex activities from a maximum of 3 years to a maximum of 5 years. The bill also bans the supporting of LGBTQ rights. Mr. Mahama served as Ghana's president between 2012 and 2017, but lost in his bid for a second term to current president Nana Akufo-Addo in the 2016 elections. The 65-year-old is again seeking re-election in the December presidential elections under the main opposition party, National Democratic Congress. Sylvia Masebo, the Africa Center for Disease Control (CDC) board chairperson, on Wednesday said individual countries should independently decide whether to declare the cholera outbreak as a health emergency or not. Speaking during the CDC extraordinary section in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Ms. Masebo, who is also Zambia's health minister, urged member states to develop proactive interventions to curb the spread of the current outbreak. She said the outbreak had affected about 15 Southern African Development Community member states. Zambia is among countries battling the worst outbreak in decades, with nearly 600 deaths and more than 16,000 cases reported since last October. The country has experienced cholera outbreaks at least 30 times since 1977, with the charity Water Aid saying the latest one is worst since 2017. Zimbabwe and Malawi have been also affected by the current cholera outbreak. Southern African Development Community leaders are set to hold the virtual summit on Friday to assess the state of preparedness and response to the cholera outbreaks in the region. South Africa's Foreign Minister Naledi Pandor has denied allegations the ruling ANC party received financial backing from Iran to file its case against Israel at the International Court of Justice (ICJ). During a press briefing on Wednesday, the minister termed the allegations as a counter-offensive by Israel and its allies, echoing earlier comments by President Cyril Ramaphosa that his country could face retaliation for pursuing legal action against Israel. Last week, ICJ delivered a ruling in the case, saying that Israel must take all measures to prevent genocidal acts in Gaza. The minister also said that she had complained to the ICJ over its slow pace of action on South Africans' referral against Israel, including the delay in issuing an arrest warrant for Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Ms. Pandor also said that all countries had an obligation to cease funding and facilitating Israel's military actions in Gaza, as maintaining financial support could be aiding or assisting in the commission of genocide. The minister suggested that South Africa mobilize countries in the global south to provide humanitarian aid to Palestinians amid aid cuts in recent days. Nearly a dozen Western countries discontinued funding to the United Nations Relief and Work Agency in Gaza over allegations that some of its staff were involved in last October's attack on Israel by Hamas. Kidnappers of 5 pupils and 4 teachers from a school in Ekiti State, southwest Nigeria, have demanded a ransom of 100 million naira, that is $110,000 or 87,500 euros for their release. They were taken during an attack on a school bus. The kidnappers have threatened to take unknown actions against the school children if the ransom is not paid. Gabriel Adesanya, the proprietor of the Apostolic Faith Group of Schools, told local media, "Many of the parents cannot even afford 1/10 of the money. It's a pathetic situation for the school and the community. We have not been able to resume classes since the attack," he added. One of the students who was on the bus during the attack on Monday said that the incident happened after school hours. He said the kidnappers ordered them to disembark the bus before selecting the targets they wanted to take along with them. President Bola Tinubu has ordered for the immediate rescue of the victims, assuring that such incidents will not reoccur. Meanwhile, security chiefs have been summoned to appear before the Senate next week over the spate of insecurity in the country. Kidnapping for ransom has worsened in Nigeria in recent years, with armed gangs targeting road travelers, students, as well as residents in rural and urban areas across the country. That is the size of top accolade African news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Thursday.